My name is Chris Claremont. You're watching Omni X-Men.
Yes, you are. You are watching Omni X-Men. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Justin, aka No Good Comics, and Happy New Year. This is technically my first stream of the new year. I mean, we're a week into it, but Happy New Year. Hope everybody's doing well. And yes, we're back for some more X-Men, some Omni X-Men, and in this case, New Mutants, as we've been breaking down this beautiful omnibus here from Chris Claremont and Bob McLeod, amongst other artists that we've been covering here in the last few months. But yeah, excited to be back. Hope everybody's doing well. And of course, when I say we with the show, it's not just me. It is my co-host and good friend John from John's Comics with Kids. John, there he is.
What is up? Time to get more new mutants.
Yes, new keyword. Yes, sir. How's it going, man? Happy New Year. It's been a
Happy
while.
New Year to you as well. Yeah, it's been a nice little break. Stretch the legs. Now we're ready for a bunch of double issues back to back to back. Get through get deep into this New Mutants run.
Yeah, exactly. Like I was like, oh, it was kind of nice doing the one issue that we did. Each had 1 week of one issue, and then I got back into diving into tonight's stuff and creating the slideshow, and boom, yeah, we got.
And I'm doing 2 next week, and you're doing 2 the week after that. We're doing bam, 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 6 issues here.
Yes. Yeah. So, of course, anybody watching, whether you're here now with us or watching the replay, make sure you are following John, subbed up to him. I put his information in the description below because we do go back and forth on each other's channels every other show. So next Tuesday, 9 o'clock Eastern, will be over on John's channel. So be ready for that. And as you just said, we'll have 2 more issues. I'm sorry if I'm a little thrown off here. The everything on StreamYard's like kind of moved around. There's like an additional media asset section now. Trying to find
it is different. Yeah. Now that they've got that big they're cashing those checks that we're also sending them. They're really upgrading, changing things around.
Nice. Yeah, I can't wait for that. Can't wait to pay that bill. Here we are.
Big one.
We got a big night tonight. We're breaking down New Mutants issue number 15 and 16. And of course, we have a special guest with us today, a good friend, someone who's been on the channel several times in the past, also just a diehard X-Men and does some fantastic work over on his own YouTube channel and Instagram channel. And it is, of course, our good friend Ryan, aka Colossus Collector. What up, Ryan?
What's going on, guys? Thanks for having me on.
Always, brother. Always. Happy New Year. Good to see you.
Happy New Year to you and everybody watching.
Yeah,
Back
man.
For more fun.
I have to say, the two of you, anytime I go into Instagram or even just on my YouTube channel, you guys have new content coming out every single day, it feels like. Kudos to both of you. You guys are killing it. I'm over here sleeping. I'm napping. I'm over here buying Pokemon over here.
Last year I felt like I neglected my Instagram a lot. And I've started the year trying to amp it up a little bit more, right. Get a little bit more going on IG.
New year, new Ryan,
New me. Yeah.
Right. Old me. I love it. Well, we appreciate you joining us as always. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts tonight. And of course, anybody watching right now or the replay, make sure you are subbed up to Ryan. I put his information in the description below as well. Definitely got some awesome content going on over there. Quality stuff, my friend. Before we get into saying hello to the chat, just want to remind everybody that stick around for after the show, because we do have trivia questions based on last episode, which was technically 3 weeks ago. So if you feel like you missed it from last week or the week prior, you didn't. It was on John's channel 3 weeks ago, before the new year, before the Christmas break. So you didn't miss anything. But yes, we will be breaking down or asking some questions from issue 14. So be ready for that. And of course, you can get your chance to get your name on the prize wheel list for the end of the year, because of course we always give away some really cool prizes, including something from our good friend Rosko from Geek Out with Rosko. He is our featured artist of the season. Thank you, Rosko, again for your artwork that I know you're working on, and I look forward to seeing everything. And we just love you, man. You're a great asset and person to this community, and we just appreciate you. So I put his information in the description below as well. If you guys are not following Rosko, hit him up, go support him. He's a great guy to this community.
I just went back and watched your collector origins with him the other day.
Did you? Nice.
I was cruising through. I was like, there's got to be some of these I missed, and I was like, I want to rewatch this one. It was great. You guys were awesome.
Nice.
Have you guys seen his dupe pickle jar drawing? It's quite good. It's quite good.
He's really very talented.
Yeah, he's the best. Yeah,
I want a copy of that.
So let's say a quick hello to the chat. I see some people hanging out. I see some people tailgating since 11:38 Eastern time this morning. James, my man, Las Cruces. Good to see you, brother. Happy New Year. Says hooray. He checked in a few times throughout the day, as usual, saying hello from New Mexico. We appreciate you, James. Appreciate the support. And you always tuning in, especially extra early. Johnny Boy, excited. See, you were here early too, man. Look at that. Whoop. We got Ruben Guzman hanging out in the chat as well. Cowabunga, my friend. We got our good friend Ryan Magic Lasso hanging out, saying Happy New Year. No Goods and the Comics with Kids, the Collector, the Ross, and the Dinners. Yes, Rachel Dinners. Shout out to Rachel Dinners. Matt and Clemson also hanging out with us tonight. What's going on, Matt? Good to see you. Side quests. Eric, you are right. 2 books tonight. Gonna be 4 hours long minimum, probably. We're already 10 minutes in. Fair. We're only on the 4th comment. So
I'll take blame for like the 3-minute lateness. We were having a little deep dive on Omni in the back.
Yeah. See, I'm getting set up here, Eric. It's not my fault. We got my man Kevin, Entropy and Comics. What's going on, Kevin? Greetings to you, my friend. Happy New Year. We got Adam Make Stuff Up hanging out in the chat as well. Hello. Let's see. Yep, Ryan playing double duty tonight as well.
Somebody asked for Jeopardy. I just thought
there you go. We got Brian LCS in the chat. What is going on, Brian? Hope you're doing well, my friend. Let's see. We got Marcus in the chat as well. Circumstances. Saw your Chiefs lose the other day. Just saying, not good.
He's about to go live too. He's going live in like 16 minutes.
He's like, they're the backups. They were the backups. Conlin Comics in the house. What's going on, Stevie? Good to see you, my friend. If you guys missed, I did an Origins with him right before the Christmas break. Really great conversation. Yeah, we had a great time. Really good dude. Happy New Year to you, my friend. Let's see. Everyone else saying hello to each other. And we got Tony in the chat. Old Wolf. What is going on? He says, I'm here. What's up, Tony? And Kenneth Bird. Hello to you. Happy New Year's. Good to see you as always. So there you go. There's the chat right now. Appreciate everybody hanging out. Smash that like button if you haven't already. And let's get into, before we get into the issue, John, I know you have a couple questions for our guests. So
try to be brief. I know we got a double issue tonight. I don't want to keep anybody too late. So Ryan, my first question is, you're going into battle as a mutant. You're going to be going into battle. You got 3 leaders to pick from. You got Professor X, you got Cyclops, and you got Sam Guthrie Cannonball. Like who you picking? Who's taking you into battle? Me
Storm. That would have been too easy.
No way. No. Sam, Scott, or Charles.
I think I got to go with Xavier. I mean, shady, no doubt. But,
no doubt.
But I mean, the guy can link everybody together. He's like an intercom system. Like, I mean, talk about coordination in leadership. I think Xavier, and he's got experience, so I'll go with Xavier.
All right, so you're coming to the school for the first time. Do you want to go in as a new mutant or just go straight to the X-Men team? Like where are you choosing to go?
Good question.
Not as a fan reading it, but as somebody attending. You have to participate.
Yeah. I think I want to go with the New Mutants, ease my way in. It also feels less dangerous.
You would think, but
but again, I don't know what my superpower is, so that could also factor into things, right?
Yeah, that's why you're there. You got to learn.
I like to learn. I want to build up. I want to log some danger room sessions and get and earn my spot.
It's fair. All right, first night in the house. All these amazing people there. Like, who's the hottie you're trying to hook up with first? Lots of gorgeous ladies floating around.
Yeah, that's a loaded question. I don't know. That's a great question. Jeez, you got me stumped here. I'm trying to think.
There's no wrong answers here. I mean,
Jean Grey, I guess.
Jean Grey.
I would pick Rogue, but you can't touch Rogue. So what's the point?
Well, you would find out the hard way.
Exactly.
You got to get one of those anti-mutant collars.
Whenever there you go.
Yeah.
Getting creative there, John. There you go.
All right. Well, thanks, Ryan. I appreciate you being under the hot seat there.
I
for a
love
little
those
bit.
questions. I could answer those questions all day.
Those are good ones, John. Matt says, Ryan, if John starts drinking the purple truth juice, he's going to quickly disagree with you on the Xavier.
Just
answer.
doing water. Just doing water.
No, I get
water.
the risks. I get the risks. I just feel like I didn't have a great choice there. So
Yeah, it's not. It's a trick question in a lot of ways.
Yeah. All right, gang. Let's jump into the books here. Again, we got 2 tonight: New Mutants 15 and 16. And let's get into the covers here. I gotta get back to the groove here. All right, here we go. So we get some pretty awesome covers, pretty wild, pretty action-packed covers here. Curious of your guys' thoughts. So John, I will start with you first. What are your thoughts when you first see these covers?
There's one I would absolutely buy, and there's one that I'd need to look inside before I make that choice. And it's hilarious because next week it's even worse. Like I just started looking at comparing them together.
Yeah.
Not a big fan of the purple unitard guy on the cover thing, and they've got like 6 of them. But this first one, dang, this issue 15 cover is wild. Yeah. And I don't know what's happening, but it's just tripping me out. It's creepy. It's exciting. It's even like messing with the trade dress. I like all of that one for sure.
True. Yeah, good call on that. Quick hello to our good friend Candace hanging out in the chat. Happy New Year, Candace. Thanks for hanging out. Ryan, what about you? What are your thoughts when you see these 2 particular issue or covers, and do you lean more towards one over the other?
I mean, if I'm just cover shopping, 15, the first one is definitely the superior cover.
Yeah.
Obviously we don't have to spoiler alert it here, but the other issue is probably the one the more discerning comic investor would pick up.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I think I'm definitely with you guys. 15 stood out to me. I know I own a copy here somewhere. I got to find my copy, but that was one that I had to have a copy of. Ileana is becoming one of my favorite characters here as we've been kind of diving more into just her character background and story, and just the artwork alone is just stunning. And then I don't know, like what. I next time we meet Claremont, I just have to ask him, like, and maybe this wasn't his idea, maybe it was just the color, but like, why are all the villains and the robots, they're always like the pink and purples? Like, it's just so much pink and purple. Not that, I mean, they're great. It's just like every villain, like, so yeah, you're right, John. We do get another, pink and purple baddie. But we'll learn more
it's funny. My girls were watching Unbreakable for the first time this last week.
Oh, nice.
And they're like, I think Samuel Jackson's a bad guy. He wears a ton of purple.
See, there it is, man. It's just like,
so they call comic book knowledge. They were well aware of that story by the time they got to him. Like, they're like, you notice how much purple that guy's wearing? I don't trust that guy. I don't trust him. He's wearing too much purple. Don't trust him.
Seriously. Eric, I'm with you. Begin hour one. Hour 1 starts now. JP in the chat. What's going on, JP? Happy New Year. Let's see, did I miss anybody? Candace says they like to be an eccentric Disney villain. Yeah, that's true. That's pretty much it right there. Yeah.
Fair.
Yep, the hard way. There it is. All right, well, let's keep it going and jump into issue number 15 to get started. And we get Garfield the cat as a kind of cool close-up. Kind of caught me off guard when I first opened this book, and
it wasn't the giant Tom Selleck poster on the wall that got you.
No, it wasn't.
I was wondering if that was Tom Selleck or Burt Reynolds.
They reference Magnum PI enough in this series that they never reference Cannonball Run. Otherwise, I'd say it's a split decision.
But you're not alone there, Ryan. We've definitely had this discussion in the past when we've seen some random posters up in the girls' walls there. But yeah, we get Ileana Rasputin hanging out, and it kind of immediately goes into her leaving her astral, joining the astral plane, leaving her body, and just kind of displaying her own practices of her own abilities. And in the verbiage here, just kind of starts off explaining that there's a lot of powers that she has that the other mutants don't know about, this being one of them. As she's going through this and she's starting to think about Doug Ramsey and Kitty and what they're doing, because last we left off, we had Doug Ramsey saying that he got accepted, or he's going to the academy up in Massachusetts, which we all know is really not a very good or safe one, as Emma Frost usually runs that one. So she's definitely a little concerned right off the bat. And then so she decides, you know what, I'm just gonna take my astral body and float over to Massachusetts and go visit them and make sure that they're doing all right. And so kind of these few panels that we see here are her kind of floating along, traveling through. I love the idea of the astral plane and things like that. There's a album that I listened to that's a concept album that talks about more of that. All that stuff's very, very interesting to me. But anyways, kind of an interesting start here with Ileana. John, I'll pass it to you first. What are your thoughts on how this book opens up and the artwork?
I mean, I love the gift game you got going tonight. There's a lot of great Strange Academy stuff going on nowadays with magic, and so it's nice to see you connecting some of those dots with her and what she's doing here versus what she's in Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love this kind of stuff. I think it's a nice layer to her character and to this universe. It's drawn really well. The color work especially very exciting. Although the really green Garfield there, that's a lot of green on that panel. But no, I just, it's a good start. Catches us up on Ileana and the issues going on for Kitty.
Yep. Ryan, what about you? Any thoughts here for just the kickoff to this issue?
Yeah, I mean, just it's very pastel-y, nice colors in there, and it's. I think Candace mentioned that she thinks this is Kitty's room.
Yeah, I saw that. It does say this. It does refer to her own room. The safest place is your own room when she's doing these spells. At least on that.
I do know a little bit further on. They talk about where she is in the house, and I thought maybe that.
Oh yeah,
she's like off in the X-Men wing.
Yeah.
Just kicking off. Nice to see that she's concerned for Kitty, and it's a good start to the story.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have to say, when I saw this splash page, I meant to mention earlier, I immediately thought of John. You remember the one of the last issues of, maybe it might be 2 seasons ago, with what's his name, Mr. Impossible or Impossible Man or whatever.
Oh, the Mr. Mixoplitic of the Marvel Universe.
Yes, yeah. I thought that was
an annual, right?
Yeah. I thought that was going to be him. Like I thought, because the goofy colors and like the largeness, even though I'm realizing now it's just perspective and color, which is actually fantastic now that when you really think about it. But yeah, I just thought, I was like, oh no, here we go, we're gonna get another one of those issues. But yeah, I can't. I want to say it's Impossible Man, or I don't know if anybody.
I can't remember his name either. Yeah. I'm sorry.
But anyways, yeah. So let's. She finds the house, and of course, as she walks in, she was right. She was right to check out what was going on with Kitty. Kitty is tied up right now in the hands of Emma Frost, who is basically sharing some evil plans of what she has in mind, and trying to basically get her to join her and to leave the X-Men altogether. And that's really been
how you do it. You tie the kid up and you wear lingerie in front of them. That's how you get them to agree.
Yep.
With what your evil plan is. That's it. You monologue with your long cigarette holder. Mm-hmm. You stand it. You strap them to a chair and you wander around in your cape and lingerie until they agree.
Very much Cruella de Vil
doesn't that make sense?
Vibes there. Yeah, for sure. And yeah, I mean, you get as she's talking to her about this, and she's denying that she's gonna she's gonna have Doug call for 911 and all this stuff. Emma's like, sure, you want to see Doug? Let's bring him in. And sure enough, shows Doug Ramsey, who she was going to school with, but he is like completely manipulated by her telepathic abilities. And in his mind, he's like macking it with Kitty already. Like he's in love. I think they even dropped the word love in here at one point, and Kitty's like, whoa, like kind of took her by surprise. But he's kind of fantasizing in his own world, in his own head, and that's why obviously the gift being there, that's pretty much all he's doing. He's just kind of making out with the air as Kitty realizes that like he's just being completely manipulated here. So again, just to show you how powerful Emma Frost is and the things that she can do. But yeah, so of course she's not having it. Kitty's going to do everything she can to kind of fight this, and sure enough, as they go at it, she gets shot by, I guess, like a cybolt from Emma Frost, and an explosion happens. And we'll kind of see where that goes from here. But any thoughts you guys want to add just on this moment, discovering a little bit more about where Kitty Pryde is at the moment, and what Emma's trying to do here. Ryan, I'll pass it to you first.
Yeah, I mean, obviously she's a mental manipulator. She's doing her best to get at Kitty. It's interesting that in these panels, these pages, we see that Doug Ramsey is in love with Kitty, and then Emma's also speaking that like you have some hidden love for him and feelings for him, which is an interesting comparison to what's going on with her other half in Secret Wars right now, kind of leading to what ends up happening when the X-Men come back and Colossus ends up breaking her heart. But like maybe a little bit, she was already slightly, there was already something pulling them apart a little bit. I don't know. Just a thought I had when I was reading these pages here.
Yep. No, it's a great point. One thing I should clarify too, as in that bottom right-hand corner, is Emma is actually shooting at what she sees as Ileana. So that was another jarring moment. Is that they actually, Kitty actually calls it out and like sees her. But yeah, that's a pretty wild thing too. So John, what are your thoughts there with that?
I mean, lingerie all day. There's no wrong time. I feel like there's no wrong moment for that. You're a teacher, that's your student. It's all acceptable in the Hellfire Club Academy. Like I think this is interesting. JP's comment, I mean, I would like Emma's recruitment method. It would work for some.
Yeah,
clearly Conlon's in, he's in. And JP's better question is it any worse than Chuck? I think they each have their positives and their negatives, right? There's no easy pick here. It's kind of like choosing colleges. You really got to go with your gut. No, I find the whole thing hilarious. The fact that there's even kids that are like, which of these schools should I go to? There's the gal with the like cigarette looking full Cruella style with the like long plastic holder. I mean, come on, man.
Decisions,
Yikes. Yikes.
And yes, thank you, Ryan. He said it's Impossible Man is his name. And yes, Impossible Man Omni coming never to YouTube. We'll make it work somehow.
Right.
Well, let's keep it going here. So I wanted to blow this next panel up just because I thought it was really cool and really well done. And kind of reminded me of like Scooby-Doo and the gang, them kind of running and in the shadows. That probably should have been a gift there. But yeah, just seeing. So basically that explosion, they hear Ileana yell or scream. And so they all wake up. This is like middle of the night. So they're all rushing down from the hallway there. And then they jump into kind of the next scene here, which I mean, I definitely got some Ghostbuster vibes. I don't know if you guys did, but seeing Slimer kind of come out of nowhere, you got Sam kicking the door down, all the kids there shocked with this light that kind of beams at them, and it's this green monster coming out of the door, flies by, and then they go and they see Ileana. I love that image at the bottom left hand corner there of the red lighting and her surrounded in her circle, and
it's like the cover, demons. Right?
Yes, yeah, exactly. And all these demons coming out of her. And then you kind of get the team, trying to handle these demons. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to handle them, but they all jump into action trying to take them out in their own way. They realize that they either can't grab them or they're missing them or they disappear the minute they try to hit them. And it's really kind of backfiring on them, but they try their best. But any thoughts here, John, on seeing Slimer coming out?
I mean, the color work, the detail work. There's a lot to really love about these pages, and that including the Yarg one that you showed first with Roberto deciding, oh wait, I really need my robe. Something's going down, but I need that robe. Gotta grab that robe. And Amara's like, I sleep in mine. I don't know what you're doing. Like,
it's really out.
I'm already ready.
Ricky,
No, but yeah, the monsters look great. The color works really great. The energy of the fight or the drama is really coming off strong. So no, I'm definitely enjoying this. And hello to Sheena. What is going on? Melanin and manga in the chat.
What's up, Sheena and Ninja? Ryan, what about you here? Any thoughts with the artwork here or Slimer?
Yeah, I mean, very active action pages. I love the art and the color. One thing I didn't catch it when I was reading it, but they don't really kind of get into any kind of explanation on what these demons are exactly. They're kind of astral projections as well, in a sense. Clearly, it's a reaction to that attack from Emma, but they don't really get into what exactly is happening there other than she's just having a manifestation of her powers somehow, and it's coming out in the form of these crazy demon ghost things. But it's definitely cool, and love all the action sequences, and I love that one panel of Sam just kicking, like karate kidding that door open. It's it's a great action
Good
shot
point.
there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, Ryan, to answer your question, she was actually a Ghostbuster in the prequel. I don't know if you saw.
Oh, right.
That was where so now she's got all the the backpack and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, her containment unit is malfunctioning.
Don't cross the streams.
Yeah.
Let's see in the chat here, Adam. Daniela wears more to bed.
Danielle, yeah, Danny.
Oh, Danny Moon. That's right.
He's commenting on the fact that she doesn't wear much most of the time, but apparently she sleeps with a lot of clothes on.
Yeah, that's very, very
cold in the mansion.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so then so after they kind of try to figure things out, of course Danny uses her abilities, saying let me have all these demons or ghosts show their fear, and use her abilities. And when they do, of course, it's a evil, large and evil, scary Ileana, more of a sorcerer vibe, which we did see in recent issues. But of course, all these monsters are terrified, and from what it looks like, they all go back or go away. I don't know where they ended up actually going, but it seems like Ileana had taken over control. And as that happens, Danny's like kind of passing out, using all her abilities as much as she did, kind of strained her to the point where she thought she was like seeing things, and she saw Ileana but in this demon sorcery form, and then was confused when she actually picks her up, carries her, because she's like, well, my abilities shouldn't be anything physical, but here we are. And then sure enough, it's kind of her being placed in bed by Ileana in real life, while the rest of the the crew kind of check in with her. Meanwhile, they sit around the room and start to figure out what it is that they're going to actually what they want, what they're going to do, or what happened, and why this is all going on, or having Ileana explain herself. So she talks a little bit about the Hellfire Club, what she saw with Kitty Pryde, what Emma Frost is trying to do right now in kind of recruiting her and other mutants and taking over the world in that regard. And they do reference a little bit about the X-Men still were thinking that she was in this coma. For anyone who didn't read the other stuff from, technically we covered it in the last season, Emma Frost was placed in this this coma from I guess I can't remember the issue numbers now, but there's a whole storyline with that. So she just brings a lot of stuff up, and then she's also concerned or questioned about what I pointed out earlier of, how did Kitty Pryde see her, in that astral plane? Normally nobody would see her. So, regardless, they end up trying to figure out what else can they do. They got to call the Avengers. They're call Fantastic Four because they were told they shouldn't do anything on their own without, permission from Professor X. And they're all disappeared. As Ryan, you mentioned, right now, technically, we don't get this hint until later in this book, but the X-Men are gone as of right now, based on the issue prior in this omnibus, which we didn't technically break down this season because it was from a last season that we broke it down, but this is the start of Secret Wars. So a lot of the groups are taken away, and that's where you can see Roberto making these phone calls, and they get the X-Man's or the Avengers mansion, their butler picking up, and no one being there. FF mansion, nobody there either. So everybody's kind of missing at the moment. So the team's gonna have to figure it out from there. But Ryan, what are your thoughts here on some of this stuff, especially with Danny using her abilities, and of course seeing what looks to be this sorceress evil Ileana that comes to life?
Yeah, it seems that when she utilizes her power to show the thing that either these demons or any characters fear the most, they always see that fear in its most like scary form, and I think that's really what was happening with the Ileana. But of course, having read future issues and other stories with Ileana, she's clearly got a lot of dark sides and different, I guess, faces because of her powers and her association with Limbo and such. So it's interesting to see her in that form in this story. I also love, just to touch on the parts of them calling out to the Avengers and the Fantastic Four. It's cool to see now this kind of side of the story, because I've read Secret Wars, I've read the X-Men leading up to and after Secret Wars. But yeah, there's it's a all connected universe. It's kind of cool to see kind of some of the trickle down effects of events and stuff where are around, and how they affect other storylines that aren't like necessarily part of the event itself.
Yep. No, it's a great point.
Which really is the catalyst of this whole story in the next issue, right? And why they have to do this this rescue, right?
And they're on their own at this point. JP saying, no supervision or under Chuck supervision, which is safer. Teenagers on their own, or an adult that makes you fight superpower villains, which is safer. Yeah, it's a good. I mean, these are valid points. John, what about you here? Anything you want to add in here?
I love that we actually have at least a moment where they realize, hey, we're in and over our heads. We can't handle this on our own. We need help. Mm-hmm. And that doesn't happen enough in this book up to now, but it's nice that it is happening from time to time. I do feel like there's two women that they should have been able to make contact with here. So like, call Stevie. Stevie's been taking care of you guys. She's been basically wiping your butts this entire season. Like, call Stevie. Like, you guys go to her studio all the time. She's got to be near the place somewhere.
I think they said that she was on vacation. Wasn't that
Stevie's on vacation?
Yeah, I think that she was actually on vacation.
Oh, I forgot that. Oh man, how dare she take?
I mean, I guess they didn't have cell phones back then, so
yeah. Right. The other one, though,
it's funny how all those stars align, John.
Right.
Secret Wars, and everybody's gone, and Stevie's on vacation.
Stevie's like,
they're not. That's my other point.
If they wanted something to happen with the story.
Sue Storm is there. Sue Storm doesn't go to Secret Wars. She was newly pregnant with Franklin, or had just given birth to Franklin, one or the other. Fire that robot at the Fantastic Four Tower.
I was going to say, shame on the receptionist.
The robot should have put her through to Sue Storm, who should have been like, I'm awake. I'm feeding a baby. I'm always awake. Oh, you're
also, maybe the kids should have been a little bit more.
Yeah.
The kids should explain a little bit more. This is urgent. We need an adult. Please put us through to an adult.
They picked up the blue phone. You call the blue phone. The blue phone should ring through, and you should get somebody.
She was probably like, these dang kids just prank phone calling again.
I'm exhausted. I got a new baby. I'm not answering the phone. Put it to voicemail with the robot.
Yes.
Couldn't they call Moira McTaggart or something? There's other connections in the X-Men world.
It cost a lot of money back then to call Scotland.
That is long distance.
and we're gonna see these kids are scrapping up money. They barely got it.
And just to play off of Old Wolf's comment about it being cold. Well, Xavier spends a lot of money rebuilding the X Mansion every time there's a disaster. So he saves money on heat and no long distance calls at the mansion.
Well, and all those ice slides all through the school. That cools the place down considerably.
It's got to be a little silly.
You keep telling him just to walk to class, but then Iceman comes through and he's like, whoosh, and makes the slide again.
He's got to watch mold. He's got to watch the mold in the.
That could be a big problem. It's a good point.
There you go. All right, let's keep it going here. We have, the team basically tries to figure out what are they going to do? How are they going to go about actually getting to? I think I reversed two of the. Oh no, I didn't. I thought I reversed these.
No, you're good.
And they said, they explained they can't get in touch with either of these team members. What else are they going to do? And Ileana, she's not giving up. She wants to go save Kitty. She says, I know that if it was the other way around, Kitty would be the one to save me. I love just seeing the true friendship here and how they've always had each other's back, and that just continues to grow. So Ileana, regardless, she's like, you guys can stay, do whatever you want. I'm going to go. Amara agrees with her. She thinks it'd be an honor. So the two of them are on the same page. Of course, Sam's like, well, how are we going to get there? I can't fly everybody there. I don't know if my powers can do that. And so they start to figure out other options on how they're going to travel there. The Rolls Royce, that wouldn't work because they'd be too flashy driving that thing around. And so they scrap up, as we just mentioned, crack open the piggy banks and start counting money to figure out what they're going to do. And Roberto says, hey, we got to travel in superhero style. and of course it shows them hanging out at the Port Authority, taking the bus, and they're interestingly dressed. All of them, they're all in their coats, and Amara, her fancy white. I don't know, that's very, very over the top fancy. And so they're waiting.
She knows she's going to go see Emma Frost. She's got to like dress the part.
She's like, maybe I'll like this school a little more. And then a little moment here while they are waiting, they get their bus tickets, they're waiting. And Rain and Bobby, they go off kind of on their own. They're like zombies for a second. They go up into the elevator or the escalator. They don't tell anybody. And the rest of them are like, dude, where'd you go? And they're just staring off at the distance, and they realize that there's that church that's kind of in the background. They're not sure why. They explained they felt like they were being kind of pulled or drawn into that direction, and kind of possessed in a way. Kind of freaked out the rest of the team. We'll get a little more into that in just a moment. But John, any thoughts here with their idea, or I should say Ileana and her friendship and relationship that she has with Kitty and having her back?
I mean, I get a lot of like great 80s vibes here from this. You get the Adventures in Babysitting or Planes, Trains, and Automobiles or whatever. Like, okay, we got this much money. Like, it's none of the like, let's get in the cool jet, the fast car. There's no bat cave. There's no. It's just like, we're taking the bus. We're gonna take the bus to stop the bad guys. Like, it's that cracks me up, and I love the childlike conversations happening in and around this. There's a great energy that is so unique to this book that I love.
Well said. Ryan, any thoughts?
And hello to Dad.
I was gonna say, I just saw Mr. Gregory LaRoque jumping in here. I first actually only saw your comment, John. So I'm like, why is John wishing me a happy New Year?
You're never gonna be Mr. LaRoque. I'm just telling you right now. You're never gonna be.
I'm like, quit fooling around, John. Dang it.
Could you just focus? I mean,
yeah. Good to see you, Dad. Happy New Year. JP says, I need an adult. Oh, wait, I am an adult. I need a more adult. Yeah, that's
correct.
I mean, that's my own conversation with me a lot of times.
Right.
Yeah. Ryan, what are your thoughts here on just kind of seeing the team doing whatever, they can to help out their friend here?
Yeah. Piggybacking off of what John was talking about the bus, it really takes you back to that age, it's like I can't get anywhere. I got to take the bus, like I haven't taken a bus in like 20 years, but all of a sudden I'm transported right back to that age where you gotta be scrappy to get places at that age. And it's no different for the New Mutants. I also, I find it funny that, Ileana is obviously is a good friend. She wants to go after Kitty. Amara is also with her, but they're also both the two with probably the most powerful mutant abilities there, and then you got some of these other New Mutants are still not quite all together with their powers. They're a little bit more hesitant. I found that funny that those two are the most confident. Well, it makes sense that they are, right?
True. Yeah, some of them can flex a little more than others at the moment. At least in this young age period of time. A couple of people saying hellos and happy New Year's. Appreciate everybody who's hanging out with us right now. Let's jump into this next part of this bus ride here, because we definitely get a bit more. I mean, a lot of dialogue for sure in these next pages, and we know Claremont, loves his dialogue. But it definitely, as John, you mentioned, like, has a lot of storytelling here. Just getting to know where everybody's head is right now in this interim of a travel time period. I find it interesting that right off the bat, you have Rain just staring down Ileana, and it's just like, she gets into explaining herself why when Sam kind of checks in with her in that middle panel there and just says, like, what's bugging you, what's going on. She's like very much, disturbed by knowing what Ileana can do. She feels like she's very much a demon or a child of the devil kind of vibe. And she has mixed feelings because she feels like that about herself to some degree. And so it's like, it's weird because she's judging her, but then she's also like, she knows like she shouldn't because she's dealing with it herself. And again, she's the youngest on the team. So she's got a lot of questions and trying to figure out a lot of what's going on. And then of course, Sam was checking in on with Danny. I love that Danny's reading, figuring out what she's going to do next to what was it? The computer library she talks about for information on the Hellfire Club, preparing for Emma Frost's school. And Sam's like, dang, like you're a better leader than me. Like, boom, there's he admitted it. And Danny, as I agree too, because Danny's definitely been my favorite out of the group here. But Danny's on top of it. And Sam expresses a little bit of concern about the two when they were walking off into the distance in the escalators and seeing the church. And we quickly get reminded about the annual that we read not too long ago, and learned a little bit more about when we met with Cloak and Dagger and what they did, and worried that the poison that was injected in those two are doing something to them, or being for whatever reason they're being drawn to that church. Very dark creepiness. And then of course on the other side you have or I talked about Rain. Well, the other part with Rain, I should note that Sam does give a really nice speech, kind of just having Rain's back, telling her that, reminding her that they're her friends, they're there for her. And I thought that was just a really nice moment overall to kind of see this heartfelt side of him. And we know there's a little bit of something between them. Rain, again, they're all young, but like Rain kind of has this crush, and she feels mixed when Amara's around and things like that. So there's a lot going on between all of them, and I just love that they put that all on these pages during the bus ride. So John, I'll start with you. What any thoughts you want to kind of jump into? I know there's a lot kind of laying here on this page, but
well, I think a lot of writers would skip the whole bus scene and just have them arrive, get more action on the page, get more bang for your buck, I guess. But yeah. I like that they included it, because these are kids, they're on a mission. You get to see all their personalities. Danny's like strategizing, she's taking this so seriously. Sam's going around checking in on everybody, making sure, playing that coach kind of vibe, like how's everybody doing, what's going on. And then you've got Rain, like to your point, the youngest one. It'd be easy to make her character incredibly annoying, and she's had her moments, but I think here you get to see the softer side of her, questioning so many different things, her faith, right, her personal experience and upbringing, her abilities that she doesn't feel like are awful, but she certainly can see how other people have viewed her in such a light, right? And so she's carrying a lot of baggage here, and she's trying to manage it all. And there's a little jealousy there, maybe, as far as like, who is Sam giving his attention to? Which of these other women is my competition in some way, right? There's some things going on there too, so emotionally, socially for her. So I like that we took the time. These 4 pages are really valuable.
Yeah, really well said. Ryan, what are your thoughts here? I know that even the one part in the middle, Bobby showing Amara kind of some of the cool stuff going on, and even Sam is a little jealous because he's got kind of these mixed feelings for Amara. So for him to see Bobby doing that, just interesting to kind of see where his head's at, even though he's kind of checking on each of the team members. But give me some thoughts here on these pages.
Yeah, I echo what John's saying, just in terms of the dialogue here. It's character building that Claremont's doing here. I mean, I could sometimes do with a little less dialogue for sure, but like it is him building these characters and developing these characters, which is very interesting. And then like something that just kind of hit me while we're going through this again, thinking back to reading it, Sam throughout this issue is like, he's very kind of like, he's apprehensive about leadership. He's not super confident. He's second guessing himself. Yet through these pages, you can see that he is a leader, because he's apathetic or sympathetic to the struggles that his teammates are going under. He's got concern. He's responsible. So he does feel a level of restraint, I guess, about what they're about to do. It shows actually good qualities of a strong leader here, although he's still so young and like apprehensive about taking on that role. He wants to hand it off really to Danny or whoever else. But it just shows he's like his humility, and that he's like growing as a leader, and he has it in him through these pages.
Yeah, no, really well said. And I'm with you both. I think that this is what I love most about, obviously, just X-Men and mutants in general, and what Claremont does. Yes, there's definitely a lot of dialogue here, but man, like just to cover the 3-4 pages that that we read here, just to get so much background as to just where they are mentally at this moment and reflect back on a lot of the recent memories, like the Cloak and Dagger stuff and, little things like that just bring you back, connects you, back to what you just read, through 2-3 issues ago. And just reminds you kind of, like I said, where they are. So I'm with you guys. Quick hello to Richard hanging out. And he says, yeah, smash that like button. I am with you, Richard. I appreciate you. Happy New Year. Candace also very well said. She says, yeah, I feel like there's less missing pages compared to Uncanny X-Men. We actually see it in between. We actually see in between moments that add some good character development. I agree. I think a lot of the story, the pacing in this story and a lot of these stories have been really well done. Not too much been, kind of shoved in at once. I think maybe we had 1 or 2 kind of rocky ones, but otherwise it's been very well kind of paced out. So I agree. We also got Damien in the chat. What is going on, Sleepy Reader? Happy New Year's to you. So let's wrap up this issue. Again, just the first of 2 tonight for issue 15 of New Mutants. Yeah, we get they finally get to the school and they break in. They kind of, this I appreciate too. They kind of cut to the chase. They break in. They use Amara's or Magma's abilities to kind of go right in there. This definitely reminded me of Wicked kind of witch melting, going through the floor kind of thing. But they break in and they think that they see Kitty Pryde there. She's tied up. They go to grab her. And then sure enough, Ileana realizes that it's all fake. It's all set up. And Emma Frost shows up at the very end, all the lights being projected on them. And the entire time it was a big setup here. So Emma has them exactly where she wants them. But a pretty wild ending just to lead us right into the next issue. But Ryan, what are your thoughts here? Just with, we kind of knew it was coming, right? We knew, really the question was, is Emma going to be ready or not? Clearly she knew all along what was up. This is all part of her plan. But what are your thoughts here?
Well, first of all, I love how the page on the left, Claremont's like, okay, I put you through a number of lengthy dialogue pages. I'm gonna just give you a page off here, guys.
Yes, absolutely.
Just panels, mostly, maybe a word bubble or 2.
Word.
You guys deserve a break after all that reading. But it's shocker, that they've walked into a bit of a trap. I think most educated readers could see that coming from a long way, but it's a great setup for the next issue. And it's a little bit on the nose, but I think it's a good setup for the next book.
Yeah. Well said. My man Noah in the chat, Broke Boy. Yeah, dude, you better catch up, man. We got you lined up here in the new year. So be ready, brother. Hope you're doing well. And let's see. Candace says, Emma got back at her for the astral projection she did in the beginning. Yeah, that's true. That's true. John, any thoughts here on how this issue wraps up?
I mean, Amara just trashed their joint. I'm just saying, like she didn't put a volcano in the living room like she did at the mansion last time around, but she definitely just ripped a big old hole in the bottom. And I don't know. I mean, you look at the outside picture, it looks like a college campus. You look at the inside of this thing, it looks like Dr. Doom's lair. I don't know how to I don't know where she found the blueprints to get underground and then tunnel up underneath, but it's impressive the whole strategy here. I'm in for it. Let's see where this goes.
I guess they just use Rain. They use Rain's nose to kind of get them to the right spot.
Put the volcano right here.
And Tony, isn't that crazy? Yeah, he coming all the way to see John. It's that's what he does.
Respect.
Let's see. JB says, Emma, I am going to confront a bunch of teenagers. What should I wear? I know, lingerie again. Yeah,
always the right choice.
This whole thing.
I'll just throw this up.
And Tony, as Justin and I know, like finds like.
That's right.
I also like that. Just noticed Kitty's she's in that purple, that pink. Emma's trying to set her up with a uniform so she can be part of the group.
That next Disney villain, I'm telling you. All right, let's keep going here. So we are going into New Mutants issue number 16. If you guys are just joining us, welcome. We have as this is called, away game, and we get to see her kind of welcome in. You get to see more of Emma's goons that are here. We certainly are very familiar with them from the Dark Phoenix days, and she basically orders all of them to kind of take them out, but immediately Sam looks. I love this. Ileana's like, oh man, I led them into a trap. My bad. Sam looks over at Amara, just kind of nods his head. Amara just starts showing up with almost looks like storm, like thunder, but it's it's her light power, her power with magma, her magma power, and creating an earthquake there, enough to knock out the lights, at least for a moment until one of the goons kind of find the light switch, turn that back on. But by the time they do, all the kids are gone. They all just disappeared. I guess they couldn't quite track them otherwise. But some excitement that led right to them kind of escaping right off the bat here. John, what are your thoughts? With the artwork and the
the goon who left that door open is getting shit canned later. I'm just telling you, that guy's not long for the Hellfire Club. Even the look on his face is like, damn it, I left that door open.
Yeah, again,
we had him trapped.
Yeah.
Emma's just like, she's gonna Darth Vader that guy. Just hold him up, choke him out, drop him to the ground.
Exactly. Yeah, he's done.
So yeah, but it's hard. It's hard being a goon.
Yeah, exactly. Ryan, any thoughts here before we go into the next bit? The kids kind of thinking on their feet there for a second, and making some moves happen.
Yeah, I mean, not to spoil anything in the next pages, but they managed to slip away. And we can talk about that on the next page or the next panel of pages. I just also wanted to point out, I love that old-timey light switch that they got there in that futuristic Doom layer. It's a mix of form and function they got going on there at the Hellfire Club. So
you got to save money somewhere, right?
Yeah. We ordered the
money on lingerie and expensive alcohol.
That's true. Well, let's get into the next pages then here. Basically, she orders the goons to go off and figure out the rest of it. She's realizing she's going to have to handle this on her own for capturing the rest of the crew. She does talk a little bit more with Kitty Pryde here, and one thing that really stands out to me, and I will pass it to you guys, but the artwork really stands out to me here. Just the close-ups, the faces that are drawn. I feel like it was almost jarring compared to just what we've had in this last issue and this issue. I mean, it's all been pretty solid, but I don't know. I really liked some of the close-ups here in the design work. Of course, we get an explanation that, one, they're at a dinner table, very much Rachel Dinner's vibes for those who know. Kitty Pryde sitting and not being able to move. She's kind of shackled in and has something around her there. She's not able to actually use her abilities. If you're wondering why she can't just escape, she can't use her abilities right here. So Emma's definitely got it down. But in the meantime, Emma kind of explains her plans, what she's going to do. She's going to take the rest of the students and get them to not only leave the X Mansion and leave all the X-Men, but want to be with her and her team instead. And whatever abilities or powers that she's going to have to do in order to do it. And then she goes on to explain a little bit more about how basically the Hellfire clubs in general plan is to just get as many super power and mutants that they can to be on their side, because with strength and numbers, is where they feel they're going to dominate. Kind of just revealing a little more detail there. I think what was the other? Was there anything else? John, I'll pass it to you and let me know. I'm curious what you guys' thoughts were with just the artwork alone. And maybe it's just me, but I do feel like a lot of it, I don't know, just got sharper here for a little bit or something. But
it's probably because Emma's giving you the seduction face there.
There it is.
Yes. And I'll slowly pour this wine and put it into a brandy glass, but it doesn't matter. The goblet is as big as my head, but it doesn't matter. This is all part of the seduction, Kitty Pryde. I'm seducing you. I don't know why your superpower is not incredibly useful to me, but I'm giving you 100% of the sex appeal. I'm giving you all of it. I'm just gonna drip and ooze it. I'm gonna lay across the desk here. I'm gonna flip my cape. There's a lot going on here. Emma is giving her both guns, both barrels are being executed here. And then she also legit gives us Pinky in the Brain. If you guys Animaniac fans, she says, we're going to take over the world.
Yeah.
Same thing we do every night. We're going to take over the world. She literally says, I wish to rule the world.
Yes.
I don't understand your play here, Emma. Are you convincing her to join you? Or are you just scaring the daylights out of this kid? What is your game here? I don't understand how telling her all this stuff and then drinking in front of her in your lingerie is going to accomplish your goal. If you were trying to win Roberto, you got him. Like you got him. You're all the points are here. You got the booze, you got the sex appeal. He will sign over his entire family fortune with this pitch. But you're not talking. You're talking to Kitty Pryde.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what game you're playing here, but
she's pushing the wrong buttons, John.
She's really. Yeah, I'm just saying.
Wrong audience.
It's really. She's really going hard. I don't know that she needs to go this hard.
Are you a telepath, Emma? I'm not sure.
Right.
A few things to highlight here in the chat. Candace says, "Wow, the same outfit for Kitty in 2 issues. She would have had 10 costume changes by now if she could." It's a really good point. My dad is pointing out that Buscema and Mandrake are a great team. They definitely are. I was just wondering, just like these particular issues stood out to me, or these pages, I should say, and a few more that are to come compared to kind of what we've seen. We've had these 2 in the last 4 or 5 issues, I think, as far as artwork goes, and it's all been really great. JP also says that's how Emma is torturing her, Candace. Kitty, you must wear the same thing 2 days in a row. Very evil, very evil. Damien, shout out to Pinky in the Brain. There it is. Ryan, what are your thoughts? Am I wrong? Like, artwork wise, or is it just kind of been this?
I'd like to just jump on what your dad mentioned. So Buscema and Mandrake are the penciler and inker on both 15 and 16, but on this particular issue there is actually an inking duo of Mandrake and DeMulder, so maybe there's something happening here with that. I'm not sure. I'm just taking an educated guess, but these definitely stand out. Either maybe they just wanted to flex a little more or what, but
and all 3 of them are on the next issue as well, before the hard cut when Sienkiewicz jumps in.
Nice.
But great art, beautiful panels, and I think we've already discussed Emma's just got an odd strategy going on right now. We'll see where that goes.
See if it works out for
it's a bold strategy, Cotton.
Bold strategy, Cotton, exactly.
We got my man Chinmo in the chat. What is going on, Chinmo? Happy New Year. Thanks for hanging out. All right, let's keep it going then, because we have the team develops the plan, right? So we have Rain, kind of half human, half Wolfbane, as she's trying to sniff out where to go from here, and they're trying to find Kitty Pryde, how they can do all this. Meanwhile, Danny Moonstar just says, "Oh, look, maybe here's what we do. We split up. We knock out the lights in one aspect of it. The other side of the other team will take care of shutting down the whole building. Meanwhile, the others will go and rescue Kitty, and we'll just skedaddle. We'll get out of there. And that's kind of the plan they all agree on. There is a moment where you see these 2 of the goons here, female goons, which I feel like these are the first that I've recognized as female goons, right, John?
For sure.
From all of the Claremont, readings that we've had so far. But it happens not just 1, but 2 together walking by in the hallway. And sure enough, they get jumped by Sam and the gang. And, they take off their mask.
If only we had a couple of female characters about the same height and size that could fit into those costumes.
And how convenient, John. How convenient.
For the first time, the Hellfire has equal opportunity henchmen hiring.
Yes.
It just works. Sometimes you get lucky.
Yeah.
The Hellfireettes is what Lasso calls them.
He's accurate with that. She's there are a few moments here. So she does use her abilities to Danny, trying to scare them and learn more about what's going on with them. And of course they see what appears to be Emma Frost, the demon kind of version of Emma Frost. So clearly they are scared of their boss. And so they decide that they're going to take their uniforms, as you mentioned, John, and put them on themselves. So I'm trying to see if it was Rain. Oh no, sorry, it was it was Danny and and Ileana that looked like they put on their costumes. There is a moment here that Danny has a little emotional moment to herself. I kind of forget what it was exactly for. Reminded her about Colorado being before she joined Xavier's team. Couldn't help myself. Now I do it by choice. Oh yeah, because she the way she used her abilities on them. But yeah, and then meanwhile you get Sam, you get Magma, who are burning a hole through the system to go find the generator room and try to basically shut things down, and which you can see at that far right hand corner. They establish that, and sure enough the lights go out completely in the establishment. So Ryan, I'll pass it to you. Any thoughts here with kind of the plan that they come up with? Notice that it's Danny who's really kind of running the show here at this point, and everybody else kind of following suit. But yeah, anything you want to start with?
Yeah, it's just an interesting pairing of Danny and Ileana. I think they're both kind of battling a darker side of their powers, and they team up together. I earlier someone made a comment that or wondering why Ileana doesn't just portal them out of their troubles. And I don't know if it was on this page or it's an upcoming page, but she's saving that. She doesn't want to use it unless it's completely necessary, essentially. So they're both kind of trying to find their way with their powers and use it for good, and worried about the use of them and how far they go with them. So interesting that they get paired together. Just again, great art, super colorful panels. Really enjoyed these pages.
Yep, absolutely. John, I noticed, or I know you were mentioning before, like kind of a surprise. We get just the two females, very convenient, as far as the goons go, but sure enough, they take their wardrobes here. But what are your thoughts here on some of these pages?
I think it's nice to see them strategizing. It's nice to see them using good teamwork. And unlike Wolverine, who just leaves the guys naked when he steals their costumes, they actually swap gear. They were nice enough to be like, you know what, we're not going to leave these ladies. We're going to put them in our New Mutants gear. You can take my New Mutants gear. That's fine. Like, so Wolverine doesn't have that kind of kindness.
Yeah, this is a family book, John. It's a family book.
Great point. All right, so let's keep it going. So so the while the generator or the lights are out, thanks to the Magma and the team kind of knocking things out, Kitty Pryde, she's excited. She's like, hey, like, are you scared, Emma? You're losing a bunch of kids. And Emma's like, relax, like, I got this. Nothing, anything can happen. I got it though. I noticed she keeps saying her, she keeps calling her Heart. I think there's a few times throughout this that she's been referencing Kitty as Heart. Have you guys noticed that? Dear Heart. She says unless she's just saying like, oh my God, maybe that's what she's saying. Anyways, she goes we move on to the middle panel here, which I wanted to highlight. I should have blown this up. I don't know if you guys really took time to read through all these comments, but basically it's the students at that school that are coming out because all the lights are out and generators and power is down. People are freaking out. And as they are, there's a little bit of humor that goes on in some of this. There's like, is there a fire? I can't see that. I can see the tower. There's no power in the valley. It's freezing out. One says it's freezing. How are we supposed to stay warm? And somebody else says, I got a suggestion. And they go, me too. And they go, my place or yours? And then all you hear is slap. Somebody getting a little fresh there. And then the rest of the students being directed by police to return back to your rooms so they get things fixed. And then meanwhile, they're trying to blend in. Mara and Sam, even though they're dressed up as in their superhero uniforms, they are definitely trying to blend in right now. But it seems like we have this camera top view angle, and somebody's spying. Somebody's seeing and recognizing that they see them exactly where they want them to be, and someone has an eye on them. Meanwhile, you have the girls that are in costume walking around in the goon suits, and at one point they run into a few other goons and they flash the flashlight at them. They're like, hey, and they like freak out and they're like, you guys got to go over there. We're going to go over this way. And they just like agree. And like Danny's like having a heart attack. She's like, I almost forgot that we were in uniform. She thought she was going to have to kick their butts. But I just love that little, moment there. Meanwhile, we do see a shadowy figure at the bottom right-hand corner. Not quite sure who or what that is yet. For a second, I was like, is Rain? What is Rain doing fooling around? Like, get out of there. But yeah, we don't know who that is until we turn the page. But definitely somebody following all of the team members, whether it's from the cameras from this shadowy figure. But before we go any further, Ryan, I'll pass it to you first. Any thoughts here with some of the action going on with the lights going out and the humor that goes on here?
Well, I love the use of the blues and the blacks to do the art in this sequence of panels. I also thought it was kind of funny that, they get caught with the flashlights, but they're covered, they got their masks, they got their suits on, and then they immediately take their masks off as soon as they're gone.
Yes,
it's like true. Didn't you just have a close call? Like, maybe the masks keeping the masks on would be a good thing here. I don't know, it's just me. It's a good little sequence here. Yeah, I love the little slap comment there too.
Yeah,
good humor.
I had kind of read through it twice because I was almost gonna just like kind of skim through it. I'm like, oh, these are just people murmuring or whatever. I'm like, oh wow, they threw that in there. John, anything to add here with these pages?
I mean, I love the little 8-bit computer they've got where they're it's almost like an old video game style, like that they're the monitor of catching them on the screen. I thought was kind of funny. But no, I like it's got it still feels like they're trying to blend, take over the world, evil machination goon plot with it's a college campus. This is a school. This is a school. I swear it's a school.
Exactly. See you later, Eric. Side quests. Good to see you, man. All right, let's keep it going then, because we get some new mutants or team members kind of joining the battle here. We see Bobby and Rain hanging out in the one corridor or panel. They get a knock on the door. They go to open the door, and sure enough, there's a fist that just punches Roberto right away. Again, the pink and purple fist coming out of nowhere, and what looks to be Proudstar, John Proudstar. I had to put a screenshot there of just kind of from back, from Giant Size X-Men at the bottom left-hand corner. But we do get introduced to a Thunderbird that definitely made me double take as we go through.
As it should.
Yes. And then of course we get introduced to another villain named Roulette, which is now one of my favorite characters. I think that's really cool, very Vegas like. And so don't know what she can do yet, but it's really cool.
Shout out to Chinmo.
Yes, shout out to that's right, Ryan and Chinmo. 3 of us, 2 a.m.ers. So then so they give the team run for their money here, kind of working together. We learned just a little bit like that. I guess her name is Jenny. She calls him T-Bird. So that was what kind of stood out to me. T-Bird, Thunderbird. And she goes, "Oh, T-Bird, it's all you." When Roberto comes back with his energy, and then something else comes flying out of nowhere to knock him out. The flash from Roulette. Her ability basically to be able to create bad luck, which I find really interesting. I think very much like Domino in a sense, even though Domino's all good luck around herself. For Roulette to have the ability to give bad luck as well as good luck, to certain people, she definitely has that working to her advantage. Along the way.
Shoot it at them, basically.
Like it's just like this like flash or this color, this light that she throws, and then of course we run into another villain who I think is this Tarot. She's got a Tarot card. I thought it was a Pokemon card, Tarot card, and out of the card comes the actual creature to attack Danny, who is really thrown off here. So a lot going on. The action is really kicking in, and there's gonna be even more on the next page with John. Just to get an introduction to some of these characters and me being confused with the fact that there's another T-Bird now. What are your thoughts here on everything?
I got to make sure you're saying tarot right now.
Sorry, tarot. What did I say? Tarot. Sorry, tarot.
It's a silent T.
Oh yeah, tarot.
No, I these are cool characters, and some of them continue to be important mutants later in comics. Like I remember Tarot being a character on and on again. I don't necessarily remember Roulette, but that's always been on white apparently because there's no Wesley Snipes in this at this point. But no, this was fun. It was cool. Like now we're getting like the two teams battling each other a little bit, and you should absolutely be questioning like who this guy is that reminds you. And it's shout out to you for throwing the original Proudstar there on the page to kind of like remind us from the Giant Size and those first couple issues.
Yep. Yeah, definitely thrown off for sure. And I do think that we didn't and I don't remember the issue, but like, didn't we get a crossover already that was introduced to Roulette briefly in our last season?
I feel like I remember some of them but it's hard to know where it fits chronologically if we read those issues after this or before where they belong.
Because I do think we saw two of them, and I remember being confused as to like who they were or whatever. But I don't even think we really went into it because it was such a brief moment. Maybe it was part of an annual or something like that. But Ryan, any thoughts here on these characters, these new characters that we're kind of running into?
I had the complete opposite reaction to Taro. I thought it was super corny. But hey, maybe she'll develop, and I'll maybe the next time I run into her, it'll be a little bit more cool. I don't know. I just don't know the whole flashing a card and something jumps out it's an odd power, I guess, in my mind. But Roulette's pretty cool.
I mean, is it any odder than Gambit? Let's be honest.
Yeah, but I mean, Gambit's.
I'm gonna throw playing cards.
The card as a delivery system, as opposed to like when a character jumps out. I don't know. It's a little weird, but maybe she'll grow on me. I don't know.
Adam says the lover's card. Oh
yeah, yeah. The Snorlax card and just sleep there. Sorry, I had to throw in
Queen.
I
want to ride my bicycle.
But cool, awesome panels. This is where the action really starts to go. We talked about the Yarg panel from the last one. You get the Crash panel right there in the middle, which was pretty cool. I love creative art and panels like that. So
of course,
just a lot of good stuff in these ones.
Yep, absolutely. Well, let's keep it going. And I will say I'm mixing a lot of characters up right now because these are all very new to me, and they're kind of new, but they're kind of not. Like I know like Empath, and I know some of these, what we're realizing now is the Hellions, but like I only know them from like the more recent stuff that I've read, and I still don't really know them. So, we as we continue this battle on, and we again in this first panel here, we get more close-ups of the digitalized, pixelated visuals of Sam and Amara. But as they get sneaked up on, up in the shadows at the above of the stairwell, you get Alfonso Rodrigo de la Rocha. If I'm saying
Manuel Alfonso.
Oh, I missed Manuel. That's right. I missed Manuel. I again, didn't really know, but he's got these things with his eyes going on. And he's basically able to, what is he supposed to do? Now I'm forgetting which one is which.
He's got some cannonball-like stuff.
Oh,
let's just say he's got the little rocket things, and he flies around.
Oh yeah. Okay. Turning the page,
but he does have the ability to use his eyes to impact the rage. I want to say the emotional state of people.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, which is like pretty dang effective here. Depending how he uses it, but you definitely get like a mirror battle between him and Sam, and Sam's definitely thrown off with not expecting the powers and everything else that they're it kind of reminded me of like actually, I'm not even going to say the reference because I'm going to butcher it. Anyways, so this is again, more wild battle scenes from more characters that I am not very familiar with. John, anything that you want to jump in here on?
I mean, Manuel is not my most, and if whatever Ryan's feeling about Taro, I'm feeling about Manuel here. I'm just it's just odd. His body posture is kind of weird. His power set's weird. And then he just gets in a zoom blast. And it may just be that I really loathe the cover for issue 17. That's like the next cover where it's just him and, cannonballs zip-zabbing in around each other. It's too much of the same for me. Too much of the same. So I wasn't as excited to see this guy. But obviously he does level the field a little bit by forcing our heroes to kind of fight one another. And then you're getting into the phase where the underlying emotional state and relationships between the New Mutants starts to be a factor in their ability to fight.
Yep. Yeah, well said. We got our good friend Chet Knight in the chat. What is going on, Chet? Happy New Year to you, my friend. Thanks for swinging by. Ryan, any I know a lot more action scenes here, a lot more characters being introduced. Any thoughts here you want to add in?
Again, that panel of Sam there in the bottom left corner, awesome. Like the close-up facial.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's akin to that page with Kitty and Emma earlier on. The close-up of the faces in this issue are pretty solid. Like I wouldn't say I liked Della Rocca. I found him incredibly hateable, which I guess is a good thing, right? So,
right.
Yeah.
Definitely he was a dick. So definitely not a fan of Della Rocca, but I guess as a villain, that's a good thing. And then Jetstream. I mean, I enjoyed the back and forth here, the battle. I generally like to see new power sets, so I'm kind of with John on that. But But a good aerial battle is a nice thing to have in a book like this. So I enjoyed it, and good panels, and also kind of interesting how Sam's kind of talking about how he sort of got a little bit of a crush going on Amara here, and then Della Rocca flips it on him by making her hate him. Which I thought was an interesting play on the dynamic there.
Yeah, she even like shoots him with her like magma powers at one point, and he's like, "Dang girl, what are you doing?" That's a good point, because I remember on my reread through this, realizing how much Sam actually is like in his own head about her, and just like back and forth throughout that, and obviously even going into these,
overthinking teenage crush,
totally. Yeah. Am I enough? Am I not enough? Did I do that right? Did I not do that right? And then, I mean, even, and I'll go into these last pages here, but, we get Sam's even more toyed with his emotions as, they handle Jetstream. He gets knocked out. And then sure enough, we get Doug Ramsey running out, in his PJs. And at this point, he said, I love it. He's like, you guys have superpowers? Wait till I tell Kitty. And then he just like fades out, and immediately realizing, or the rest of the Sam and Amara realizing that Emma steps in, but really what Sam's seeing is Amara dressed completely in what looks to be, she took something out of Emma Frost's closet, and now Amara's like flirting with him, and Sam's like sold. He's like, oh, forget anything and everything I was just involved with as far as battles go. I'm in heaven here. And then meanwhile, she revealed, she being Emma, reveals to Amara that she sees her mother back from her mother from what's the name of where they're from again, John? Rome.
Nova Roma.
And sees her mother. So she gets entranced by this. And so both of them, as they come close, I love that middle panel, Emma basically calling her, her kids in here, as they're both so, mixed up in their own minds of what they're seeing, that they have no idea or realize that Emma Frost is handling all this at that time. So she's taking over them. Doug, of course, also being taken over by the mind. She sends him back to bed. And then we flash back over to Danny fighting with this demon from Tarot. And even she's getting, her legs have turned like half into a goat and all sorts of craziness. And then finally, Ileana, just pulling out the lightsaber and just saying, hey, that's enough. Like, this stuff's got to stop. She starts slicing and dicing. Then we get another character who I didn't know who this was. That was Tarot, I think. Was the girl. But then there's another shadow that comes through, and it's one of her other cards that she shows, and it's Knight of Swords that's on a horse, and knocks Ileana off. And then Ileana grabs Danny, and they basically jump into what is her, her abilities to teleport here. They disappear. And then all that's left is the one girl that's one of the Hellions that are working with Emma, and Emma's pretty annoyed by it, but she says, enjoy your freedoms, brats, it won't last long. But sure enough, that was the introduction to the Hellions, what we just read there, my friends. So Yeah, a lot kind of happening in these last couple of pages, but Ryan, I will start with you first. Yeah, what are your thoughts here? I mean, we got Doug Ramsey coming out of nowhere in his PJs. We got both Sam being misled as well as Amara being misled, and Emma seems to have everybody at her fingertips. But yeah, how do you think of the ending here?
Yeah, it was only a matter of time until Emma had to get her hands dirty, so to speak, and she shows up, and I love that she projects simultaneously two different visions of herself to appeal, one to Sam, his hometown sweetheart, and then one to Amara, her mother, that she's longed for her whole life, and she uses that to basically just subdue them and send Doug back into his kitty fantasy land that he's been in throughout these couple stories. So that was definitely expected. They fall into the trap. They're now captured by Emma, leaving Danny and Ilyana as kind of the last two on the board, so to speak. And eventually Ilyana has to use that last resort, as I mentioned earlier, and portal out of this spot, which is interesting. I haven't read the next or issue. Given her concerns about using her powers, I wonder where that takes them. Does that now put them in a difficult spot? Are they in limbo, or do they release something that they don't want, or something like that? So it'll be interesting to see how that shakes out in the next issue.
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, I just got a glimpse of the next cover, just because it's laying here in the omnibus. And John, I see what you mean. Pretty brutal. But John, I'll pass it to you now. What are your thoughts here on kind of how we wind down this issue?
I mean, I like that Emma does get to shine. I like that up until now it's been a little goofy. She's just being Emma, but now she gets to be the boss, and you get to see how she got to the place where she is and the power that she wields that makes her so dominating. And I think I think that's kind of cool just to see the way she takes them all apart.
Yeah, well said. Quick hello to our good friend Bobby Delaghetto hanging out in the chat. What's going on, Bobby? I agree. Was wondering what
start
there.
Holding the Pokemon card up, and then the beast jumps out at people.
Telling you, man. Telling you. I was trying to find a GIF at one point for one of these pages, and I couldn't find the right one for Pokemon. but sure enough. So there you have it. That's kind of where we wrap up these issues. Again, if you're just joining, New Mutants 15 and 16. But before we get into our questions and some of the numbers that we have coming up here, I do want to get your guys' final thoughts, final opinions, and your grade on each of these issues. If you could put a grade on each one. John, I'll start with you first.
These issues are a lot of fun. I think they spend time giving the characters room to grow. They spend time giving us moments of character development. And I think that when the action comes, the action's exciting. It's interesting. The use of new characters is well done, so that we're not feeling like we're overwhelmed by all these characters and not really understanding what's going on. So no, they balance a lot of things in this really, really well. I'm gonna go 9.4 for the combination of both of these. I don't know which one I would prefer story wise, because I know one's a little slower, one's a little more action packed, but one has a lot of great character development, and the other one is focused on the sort of diehard trapped in a building section that we're in right now. So I'm happy to pair them up. In fact, I think these two go together really well.
Yeah, well said. And for anybody in the chat too, as a reminder, we would love to know your grades for these two books as well, whether you want to combine them or individualize them. But yeah, leave them in the comments. Ryan, what about you? Any final thoughts here, and how would you grade the two of these issues?
I enjoyed both. I'm glad that they were paired together. It's a good two books to go together with the story, and I definitely lean stronger on the second one, just because I do enjoy a little bit more action in the book. I don't really have a baseline in terms of my grade, so I'm gonna maybe be a little conservative here. I'm gonna call issue 15 an 8.0 and the second issue an 8.5. And I'm going to save those high grades for, the best of the creme de la creme when it comes to X-Men and New Mutants and everything. So
yeah, no, I dig it. Well said. I mean, I think I'm a little opposite of you guys as far as which one I liked more. I definitely really enjoyed both of these issues. I think that for me, 15 was overall my favorite of the two. I kind of like the slower pace, and I like more of the character development, John, as you pointed out, where they took that time to do that. Of course, the cover way better as well. But I will say, issue 2, I think some of the interior covers, even though a lot of it was similar artwork, just the artwork was just seemed sharper to me throughout that issue. So for that, I'm gonna go a 9.6 for the first issue 15, and a 9.2 for the second one. But yeah, these are books that I absolutely would love to come back to reread again. I was very entertained throughout the whole thing. So a couple highlights here in the chat. My dad said, I spent a weekend at a convention with Sal, and a great artist and cool guy. That is awesome to hear. I wonder if I was with you at that time as a little kid. Maybe not. Chat says he hits a 9.4 on both. I said I like both books back when. Needed a proper reread. Yeah, for sure. Glad you got a chance to reread them. Matt says a 9.2 on 15 and a 9.4 on 16. It's funny, John. You know me, man. Like I generally lean towards the action-packed ones, over these seasons. But yeah, I'm kind of flipped here compared to everybody else. Dan Alvin in the chat. What's going on, Dan? Asking about Sienkiewicz starting on the next issue. I'm not sure.
It's actually kind of fun because next week I'm going to do 2 issues. I'm doing the last one with this art style and the first one of. So we're going to get a real fun comparison back to back as we enter the next phase of New Mutants. So this storyline will end, and you get another one with these same 3 artists, the ones we listed at the beginning: Mandrake, Buscema, and I can't remember the third person, DeMolder. Sorry, Kim DeMolder.
Yep, Kim
so
DeMolder.
All 3 of them are listed as the artists, not separated out as inker or what have you. They're all listed together. And then the following issue that we'll do the same night is going to be issue 18. All Sienkiewicz, nobody else listed.
Awesome. Yeah, it's going to be cool. A few other grades here. Conlon says both were entertaining. I think 16 is a little more of an important book. Yeah, fair. I mean, definitely some first appearances and things of that nature, and I will highlight that here in just a second. But good points indeed. Yeah, a lot of new characters. Bobby, my man, with white pages on both 9.4, 9.2. I like it. All right, let's get into the numbers, and we'll get into the questions here. We're coming up in an hour and a half mark. Appreciate everybody hanging out. Make sure you're subbed up to these 2 gentlemen if you're not already. I put their links down below. Yeah, so for money, New Mutants 15, there are only 49 9.8s on the census. Again, this is from Go Collect's data for CGC specifically, and they fair market value over the course of a year or so, $65. Very affordable if you're looking for this cover. And this is one that we pointed out we liked a lot as far as the cover goes. And then of course for 16 being a bit more of a key, and I should have clarified that in the key elements. I'll say in a second, but 9.8s, there's a lot more of that. 145 on the census for CGC 9.8, and that also fair market values at $65. So they're both right there, probably for different reasons, but yeah, 16, as Ryan, you pointed out, first appearance of John Proudstar, the second Thunderbird, also turns into, or down the road, known as Warpath, which I never realized all that as a connection, because I know Warpath from the more recent stuff. But sure. and then the first appearance of the Hellions, which I know of Hellions. Of course, the one I had read is very different team of Hellions. But yeah, we get Roulette, Empath, Jetstream, Tarot, Cat's Eye, which I don't remember seeing Cat's Eye in this book.
That was the one that was like climbing on the roof, right? Wasn't it? And then like jumped down on them. The purple.
The other werewolf-y type character. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Right.
You'll start noticing they pair off a little bit. Some of them.
Yeah. It's funny because
we match up really well.
Well, when I seen that, I actually just thought that it was another demon for a second. Well,
it's because Tarot, and because Tarot keeps holding up those cards and throwing monsters at them. It's easy to think like, oh, is that just a projection, or is that another character?
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
And just a note on Warpath. He's I think is he the twin brother or the cousin of the original Thunderbird?
I thought it was a cousin, but I might be wrong.
I can't remember. But he's I believe in X-Men. An upcoming X-Men issue around this same time they run into him, and you get a little bit more of his backstory in that issue.
Okay, nice. Stevie says Cat's Eye is the other dog girl, the lamer one. There you go.
Got it. A younger brother, says Bobby.
Younger brother,
yeah, there you go. Nice. All right. Any final thoughts here on the numbers, gentlemen, before we dive
I'm surprised. I'm surprised that the one with all the keys is the exact same price as the other one.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of shocking to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think ultimately it's just neither of these books are really being sought after at the moment, but
right.
As the reason. But yeah, no, I was kind of surprised too. That's what made me think like, wow, like that just goes to show you how powerful a cover can really help a grade, if that is part of why 15 is the same price, but or how bad the other cover is.
I think it's the other. I think it's more the there's just kind of like the lowest level for a 9/8 book, and they're both sitting at it type of thing.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's probably it, because I mean, Warpath's cool, but not something like, that people are scrambling for. There's no speculation on Warpath yet.
And 16, they should have given I think if 16 had a cooler cover, I think that obviously would have helped as well. So I think that
for sure.
Yeah. So if anything, kudos to 15 to keeping up with it. Either way, I would probably rather both of these in raw form, but that's just me. All right, let's close this portion out and get into the questions. So if you guys are not familiar, we're going to ask 4 questions right now. These are all based on last issue that we had broken down, specifically New Mutants issue 14, because we only broke down one issue, which, by the way, John, when I was going back to go to my questions, I was like, all right, I'll grab one from this issue and then I'll grab a question from, and I'm like, oh wait, we only did this one issue. So these are 4 questions from issue 14. So be ready. We're looking for 2 correct answers. So if you see someone else writing it and you're not sure, copy and paste, copy what they wrote down. And then, of course, if you don't know, we are looking for a wrong answer, a sarcastic answer, something that will make the group chat laugh, but specifically Ryan, because Ryan's going to be the one to pick the funniest out of each of those answers.
The arbiter of comedy tonight is Ryan, and he gets to choose he gets to throw tickets out to the wheel.
Yes. Adam, 2 weeks, I can hardly remember what I had for dinner last night. Yeah, sorry, Adam.
Fair.
Should give you the hint there. Oh, yeah, good point. Roy Kirk's not with us right now, but thank you.
I was ready. Look, I just dropped mine. Like I was ready to cover for him. So thank you, nice. Magic Lasso.
Yes, we're thinking of you, Roy Kirk. Let's see. JP says I read them and I don't remember it. Yeah, see, that's one.
He was on the show, wasn't he?
Oh yeah.
He was on that episode.
John, you want to start off with your first question?
I'm happy to do it. Yeah, at the beginning of the episode, we have creepy Professor X staring out the window at the students while they're playing in the snow, and it's quite a panel. I blew it up and then showed it off to everybody. But what I liked best about it was the next panel shows the New Mutants spotting him, and Sam Guthrie describes Professor X with 2 words. What words does he use to describe Xavier's expression staring out the window at them? 2 words.
A lot of good opportunities for incorrect answers.
You describe, how does Sam Guthrie describe Professor Xavier's expression?
Yeah, this one I had to look back up. Could not remember.
Already starting strong.
Lasso says poopy pants.
That's fair. Fair.
Adam says creepy mother.
Also accurate.
Yep, creepy stare. Tony says creepy uncle. Chet says. And Matt says creepy stare sounds good. Yeah,
it does sound good. It does sound right.
Baldy McCreepy. I like that one. I like that one.
Solid.
A look of penetration.
Stop using that word. I already told you, Tony. Don't use that word.
Ryan, I should have had you bring on Professor Xavier tonight.
Oh man.
Missed opportunity. Bobby says social services.
Right. Is he here?
Prof.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, let me hide him here.
Yeah. Okay, so the correct answer has now happened twice.
Oh, it has. Oh my gosh, Professor X.
Hello, children.
So good. So good.
They were just
Note my head dimples.
I do.
They were just complimenting you.
I got them too.
Professor X. Yeah, so the two I see here, Conlon with Grim Death, and then I think I have
And Magic Lasso. Copied and pasted. Smart man. Grim Death is how they describe Professor Xavier, which is never a good thing. You don't want your kids describing you in your class.
It's dark for them.
I can't believe we had Professor X on the channel just now. This is pretty wild.
Crazy how those
it was crazy. Yeah.
He wasn't actually here. He just made you all think he was.
He was just telepathic.
Mind blown.
There. Yeah. Yes. All right, let me get my questions up here.
Hold on, we need one comedy. Who wins the comedy answer?
Oh yeah, that's right.
I gotta go with Poopy Pants.
Okay, there you go. That's
is
that
Lasso?
I think. Yep, here it is, right towards the top.
That got me
on the board. Someone Scott Hansen would confront. Well, why don't you have a seat? Have a seat right there.
Fair.
All right, my first question is, who does Ileana remind Amara of in issue 14? Amara sees Ileana, and she walks by. She says, Ileana reminds me of this person. Who does Ileana remind Amara of in issue 14? A lot of that's a layup there too. I would say a lot of good comedy answers if you are not sure of the correct answer. Boom! I already see the right answers. It's quick. JP says Celine. Yes, that's correct. And Old Wolf Tony on point tonight. Tony
and on another stream at the exact same time.
Again. Oh, is he streaming again? Yeah, nice.
He's over there with Marcus.
Yes, Matt. Yes, you certainly should be answering Diana Ross at this.
Correct.
At this point.
This is the correct spot.
Candace says Celine Dion. Yeah, that's another one. That is another one.
E-I-E-I-O.
Bobby says Stalin. I mean, yeah.
Jeez. When in doubt.
Tony says someone with penetration. There's the Diana Ross comment right there.
This guy.
JP says Rachel Dinners.
Nice to see that name back again.
Yes. Ryan wasn't around for the Rachel Dinners.
That was like season 2. That might have been season 2.
No, I don't know the back. I don't know the backstory on that.
So a quick background. It was Chet. As we always make fun of Chet because he always mistypes every answer that he puts in the chat, and he quickly was trying to say Rachel Summers, and he put Rachel Dinners, and it
auto corrected it to Dinners.
Yeah, it just stuck. So now we always talk about Rachel Dinners. Yeah, amongst many things that he's see Chet knows it. It should be a T-shirt by now. Rachel Dinners forever. There it is.
Frozen dinner.
Peter in drag. Candace says. Let's see. What was that? Oh yeah, we're talking about the. Oh yeah, so we're looking for funny answer now because Selena's the correct answer. Ryan, any of these stand out to you? The Rachel.
I think I laughed. I chuckled the most at someone with penetration.
Jade Fonda.
Old Wolf.
Who is that? Oh, okay, yeah, Tony. Yep.
He's doing well tonight.
Oh, Tony said he left for this. Going back after the questions. There you go. Good strategy, Tony. Good strategy. All right, go ahead, John.
All right. Last question from me. How does Sim defeat Professor Xavier? Obviously, we have this giant purple demon versus powerful telepath. How does Sim defeat Professor X?
A lot of good opportunities for that one as well. And I'm just warning everybody now, my last question, spelling really counts. So be ready. Be ready. Oh, seeing a few different mixed answers. Tony says, 2 bottles in, I'm doing well.
I don't want to know what bottles you're talking about, but
JP says donkey punch. Let's see.
Oh man.
I'm not trying not to click.
Yeah, there's a lot of people right around it. But one answer that I love
Adam says, puts a wheels lock on the professor's chair.
That'll do it. He's done. He's not mobile anymore.
Show some naughty pictures of Jean Grey.
Yeah. I'm gonna because they're given more info. I'm gonna go with Conlon, but first and foremost is Magic Lasso. Conlon does backhanded slap, which is kind of what I was going for. But Ryan up top slaps him out of his chair.
Yeah,
might be the most accurate description of anybody out there. So that's the 100% true answer.
Yeah. So so we have Conlon and Magic Lasso for the correct answers.
Correct.
A few more funny ones. Lasso says by doing the limbo. Yeah. Stevie says sweet chin music right to the dome. Boom. Love it. Let's see, scrolling. Another backhand. Jams his chair with penetration.
He has one note. He just keeps playing it.
Yeah. Sometimes it's what you gotta do.
It's good strategy, to be honest.
Yeah. Ryan,
on the show.
Yeah, it does. Any options here?
I'm gonna go with wheel lock.
Adam makes stuff up on the board tonight. Nice job. Yeah, it was a good one. All right. We're on our
last question of the night.
All right. So my last one is pretty straightforward. Spelling does count here, though. Every detail of it. What's the name of last issue? Every issue has a name under the title, not just the New Mutants. But what was the name of the issue from issue 14? For those who don't know, start Googling. Technically, John has a T-shirt of it.
I do. You're right.
Just not wearing.
But no, tonight is Magneto was right.
Oh, that's another great one. Was that also from Ex-Wife Podcast?
I don't think so. No, I think this was a different one. I found out over summer after obviously the episodes were airing of the new show, of the 97 show.
Oh, nice. All right. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to go with these first two that I'm seeing.
Okay.
Going to go with Ryan, Magic Lasso. Yeah. Do you believe in magic? Do you believe in magic? Yeah. It's a great shirt. Shout out to Ex-Wife Podcast. They have a cool shirt that John was wearing. I think you were wearing it on the show when we last time.
You sent me this shirt?
John? No, the Ex-Wife Podcast.
I'm saying Old Wolf says he sent me this.
Shirt. And then yes, Matt. Yep. Yeah. Matt's on the board as well. So nice job there. Let's see. JP says Professor X is a jerk. I mean, you're not wrong. You are not wrong.
It's a good one. It's an important one to keep in mind.
Bobby says Colossus saves the day. Nice way to play to your judge there. That's right. Yep. Bobby also said Professor X is a jerk. Creepy old man watching Teen Snow Day. I mean, yeah, that's not far off for that issue title. X-Men is sold out, so you had to buy this comic instead. Imagine that was a title. Let's see. Chat jumping in. Do you believe in penetration?
Wow, this is a new theme tonight that I wasn't ready for. I'm just saying.
Leave it to Tony to stir that up. Who took Wolverine sandwich? JP says. Classic Wolverine.
It's a thrilling mystery.
Yep. Oi. Ryan, any thoughts here for your favorite funny answer?
I'd just like to say, going into this whole question and answer period, I went into it with the philosophy: if anybody says Colossus, I'm going to pick them. And it took the fourth question, and Bobby, you picked the secret door. And
congratulations!
All I hear is that Zelda sound effect when you find the secret door.
Yeah.
There you go,
Bobby on the board. Nice job. Yeah, way to play the Colossus collector. Well, there you go, gang. There are the questions and the books for the evening. Want to thank our special guest, Ryan. Dude, as always, thanks so much for joining us. It's best way to kick off the new year. We appreciate you being part of the show.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And if you guys are not following Ryan, make sure you do so. I put his information in the description below. Make sure you're subbed up. His videos are super entertaining and a lot of fun. Definitely go check them out. And then you can also follow John too if you want. His are decent. They're up
Yeah, I
there.
mean, you
So,
got to be there next week.
You got to be
'cause
there. Yeah, you can
we're getting into Sienkiewicz.
you can subscribe for Tuesday, and then
Right.
after that,
Then
unsubscribe and come back
right.
here. Yeah. So,
But do it because we're gonna have Daryl from Read Your Comics joining us as well. Another
Ooh,
great
good
community
point.
member.
Good point. That's going to be a blast. It's going to be a blast. So yeah. So John's information is down below as well. Want to shout out our featured guest or sorry, featured artist as always, Rosko. We love you, man. Definitely check out his page if you haven't already. Thanks to everyone who hung out here tonight. We kicked off the new year strong, I think. So be ready for 9:00 Eastern over on John's channel as we break down the next 2 issues. Be ready, 2 more issues coming up for the New Mutants Omnibus. So until next time, gang, we will talk to you later.